8. Okay? When I plug 0 in, we have 2 times 0, plugging that in again, subtracting 4. And anything times 0 is 0. 0 subtract 4 is negative 4. Okay. And then when I plug 6 in, this is 2 times 6 minus 4. So that's going to be 2 times 6, which is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. All right, so now what do you do with these solutions once you've got them? Well, remember how I said there is a relationship that has been developed already between x and y. So what we're going to do here is we have our x of negative 2, and the result when we plugged it in gave us a negative 8. We can rewrite this as an ordered pair, negative 2, 8. And by ordered pair, I mean just a point on the coordinate plane. Okay? I could take the other point, we started with a 0, and we got negative 4. All right? And the other one, we started with 6, and what did the input-output table give us? It gave us an 8, positive 8. And by the way, this should have been a negative 8. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have 3 points here. Now, take a minute, gather your materials for your graph paper. If you have any graph paper, go ahead and grab that for a second, because we're actually going to graph these 3 points and see what exactly is going on. What is this relationship between x and y? Okay, so here's my graph paper. Okay, and we are going to plot those 3 points. So remember, one of our points was we had negative 2, negative 8 was a point. And remember, always try to label, so I'll just call that A. B was our second point, 0, negative 4. And then C, our last point that we got, was 6, 8. Okay. So we're going to plot this. So to plot A, remember, start from the origin. Our x direction says to go negative 2, so I'm going to go negative 2. And then our y number is negative 8, so we're going to go down to negative 8. And that's right here. That's A. Okay. Our B was 0, negative 4. Again, start from the origin. Okay, the origin. Am I going to move any direction in the x direction? No, because it's a 0. However, there is a y direction of negative 4, so I'm going to go down to negative 4 and call that B. Okay. And then our last point, our C, was 6, 8. So I'm going to start from the origin and go over 6 and go up to 8 and call that C. Okay. Do you see some sort of relationship that was built here? Okay. Well, we're going to go into this a lot more in detail, but the relationship between x and y in this format actually makes a line. So see, all these concepts should start coming together. I can now, if I wanted to, I could talk about the steepness of the line. Steepness meaning AKA slope. Okay? But the relationship, once I plug something in, it will make a line. Now, does every table, is every chart going to make a line? No. But between this relationship that we've seen with this example, it makes a line. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at another example. Kind of summarize things there. All right. So now, here's our equation that we're dealing with now. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. Fractions, your all-time best friend. We know you all love them. All right. So again, I'm going to make my little chart over here, x and y. Let's start over here. Okay. And remember, I'm going to choose a negative number, I'm going to choose the 0, and I'm going to choose a positive number. Now, I am going to kind of be a little bit, cautious about which number I pick because I do have a fraction. Now, in a previous video when I taught you how to get rid of fractions when we were solving multi-step equations, do you remember what I said on how to get rid of fractions? Okay, time's up. Remember, you multiply by the common denominator. What is the denominator here? It's a 3. So the numbers that I'm going to pick are going to be 3. I will choose a negative 3, I will choose a positive 3, and of course the 0. And again, I'm choosing 3 because I know by replacing x with 3, the fraction is just going to disappear. I'll show you. So let me use negative 3. Okay, so I have negative 2/3. I'm plugging negative 3 in. Added that to 4. And as you see here, remember, this 3 and this 3 cancels out. This will actually result in a 1 when it goes away. And negative 2 times a negative 1 is positive 2. Positive 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay, and kind of clean this all up in one swoop. Remember, I can rewrite this ordered pair as negative 3, 6, like that. Okay, of course, I'll do 0 next. 0 is nice, isn't it? Negative 2/3 times 0 plus 4. Well, 0 times anything is just going to give you a 0. 0 plus 4 is just 4. So 0, 4. Okay. And our last number is the positive 3. So I've got negative 2/3 times 3 plus 4. Okay. Again, do you see what happens here? This is really nice. 3 and 3 cancels out. Now, again, remember, I chose 3 for a reason. If I put a 7 here, would that fraction have canceled out? No, because this denominator wouldn't have canceled with this number here. All right, so remember, I would choose numbers that reflect the denominator, all right? So what's left here is a negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is a positive 2. So our ordered pair is 3, 2. Okay, so let's take a moment and graph those 3 ordered pairs, and see what's the relationship between these 3 ordered pairs. Okay, so again, our points are A, we'll call it A, negative 3, 6. We've got B of 0, 4, and C, 3, 2. Okay, so A, negative 3, 6. Start from the origin, go over negative 3, and then up 6. That's A. Okay, B is 0, 4, so that's going to be right here, B. And C, 3, 2. Okay. Now this example here, you can see that there's a really clear defined line right here. Okay. And do you also see that it's kind of going down, if you can agree with me on this for a second, in equal increments? So do you see how I'm going down 2 and then going over this way 1, 2, 3? Again, it goes down 2 over 3. Do you think that if I wanted to make a point D that I could? Okay, we could. You would just go down 2 over 3. Okay, but that's another video, another time and place, just kind of getting you guys ahead of what the next unit is going to be. But the relationship between these, it just makes a line. Okay, a downhill line on top of that. All right. So in a moment, I'm going to present to you guys a few try problems, and I want you guys to create your own table and graph them and see what the relationship is between those. Okay, so here's the first try problem that we're going to look at. Now again, I see a fraction here, so my numbers that I'm going to choose, the negative case, I'm going to choose a negative 2, the 0, and a positive 2. Okay, when I plug negative 2 in, remember these will cancel out, this will result in a 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, 0. Negative 1/2 times 0 plus 1. Well, anything times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is just 1. And when I plug 2 in, negative 1/2 times 2 plus 1. The 2's cancel out. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So 3 ordered pairs here are negative 2, 2, 0, 1, and 2, 0. Okay, let me plot those real quick. Let's see what that relationship is. A, we have negative 2, 2. B, it was 0, 1. And C was 2, 0. All right, so A, negative 2, 2. That's over here. B is 0, 1 right here. And C is 2, 0 right there. Okay, and the relationship formed, it again makes a downhill line. All right, now last try problem that you had